nurture Sangha out of compassion for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh. Tình duyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đắc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Thô Sư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hơ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Chế. Nam mô Tát Rác Tha Tô Ya Đà Ya La Đê Tam Yêu Tam Bồ Đà Tọa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu sheng sheng she wei miao fa, bai jian wan jie nan zao yu, wo jin jian wen de shou qi, yuan jie ru lai zhe shi yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Qingliang, Venerable YongHua, Venerable Lafong people, and all good no advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Hòa thượng Kiên Hoa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện sư Thích Ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, thank you for coming. Good to see you. Today is the 28th of August, end of the month, 2021. We are gathered here to continue discussing the prologue to the Avatamsaka Sutra. We on door number 1, slide 97. Okay, let's jump right into it. It's a very hot day today. Good Lord, it's like we're all frying. Okay. Each head manifests as many tongues. Each tongue emits as many sounds.
一一头化耳所舌，一一舌出耳所音声。
98. Each head manifests as many tongues as the number of heads there that appear, and each tongue then emits as many sounds as the number of heads. So you see, this state is inconceivable. A head manifests countless tongues, which each tongue manifests countless sounds. So you see, have this symphony of what you might call the Buddha choir. Okay, so all these tongues are all speaking Dharma. By the way, Buddhas don't sing. The only thing they do is speak Dharma. Everything they do, every single sound they emit, Everything, every single thing they do is to speak the Dharma. Okay, okay, that's the really inconceivable state within. You have countless, infinite number of heads. Within each head, at each head, you have infinite, number of tongues. Thank you very much. Okay, each tongue speaks infinite number of sounds. So you have this compound factors here, which is our incredible state of the Buddhas. Okay, really inconceivable. There's no way for us to comprehend it. 99. Up to and including texts and meanings of phrases, each one of which completely fills all Dharma realms without exhaustion.
乃至文字句意，一一充满一切法界，无有穷尽。
So he's speaking infinitely dharmas, okay, and not only the sounds are infinite, sounds of the Dharma infinite, but the Dharma, the sound of Dharma, actually look at it as each one of them filling up, all of them combined, filling up the entire Dharma realm. A truly inconceivable state. And you might wonder, how come we don't hear it? Yeah, I don't know. May wait until you get to that state and you see what I mean. It's just really inconceivable. If it means that if you have the affinity, you see, there is a sound being emitted, the sound being made, but on our receiving end, we must tune into it. Does it make sense? Like our air is filled with radio waves, okay, many wavelengths. Unless we tune into the proper wavelengths, we can't receive it. Does it make sense? That's the nature of the state of the Avatamsaka Sutra when the Buddha speaks the Dharma. All right? 101. And this is infinite. Trust me, this is so long if we try to understand every single aspect of it. We'll never have enough time. Okay, we'll be stuck here. One slide per month. That being so, the place taken up is the tip of a hair, horizontally comprising Dharma realms. Time taken up is a kasana, vertically exhausting seas of kalpas.
思则处以毛端，横该法界，时以刹那，数穷劫海。
And when we talk about infinites, we imagine our mind mentally. We think it's something so big we can't even imagine it. But actually, the great teacher, the great Jing Liang, national master, he says, all this, the state we're describing to you, the infinite heads, each one producing infinite tongues, each one producing infinite sounds. So you have a infinite times 3 already, okay, to the power 3. And actually power 3, right? Infinite to the power 3, mathematically speaking, which is incredible already. And he says, that thing we described to you is only at the tip, happening at the tip of a hair. Okay, and that's the microscopic view of the Buddhas. Horizontally comprising Dharma realms, okay, meaning that this tip of hair here will be replicated horizontally through space, okay, and vertically exhausting seas of kalpas, and this happens endlessly in time as well. So now you have infinite to the power of 3, and then you have the horizontally. Now you have this, that to the power of the infinite, and then another power of infinite. So I'm lost. You mathematicians, you have to help me out. Hey, Sang-Wook, what does it mean? Speak up. You're the one with the PhD.
I don't know, Master.
See, that's the right answer. No one knows. Especially Sang-Wook would not know. Okay? Kasana is no H. Kasana here is a very short time interval. Okay? So it happens infinitely in one single interval, and you stretch it throughout the time axis. That's the kind of minute details that the Buddha can keep track. Isn't that cool? It's just so fascinating. There's no way for us to imagine what it's like. Okay? Because it shows right there, folks. It demonstrates the limitation of your mind. Your mind is so limited. Huh? Our mind is just like you. Okay. What is kasana? Kasana is very short time interval. The Chinese, various sources of Chinese texts, whether it's Hinayana, Mahayana texts, they have different types of definitions. The point here is that let's not worry about them. You can go intellectually, you can say this and this, that and that, like 1 over 648 times 10,000 minutes and so forth, or 1 over 75, 1/75th of a second and so forth. Okay, it doesn't matter. But what the one I heard from Master YongHua, he says, one thought has 90 kasanas. So far so good. One thought you have, boom, okay? The thought of I, okay? I am, that's 2 thoughts, right? I am. Okay, so the one thought right there has 90 kasanas, okay? And in each kasana you have 900 births and deaths. What's a birth and death? This is a birth and death. You see that? The thought, each thought is combination of birth and death. Every single thought we have in our minds, birth, death, birth, death, birth, death, birth, death. So what is a arhat different from us? Our head is birth, death, birth, death, birth, death. You have thoughts arising constantly. The arhat says, no thoughts, no birth, therefore no death. If you have a birth, you must have death. You throw a stone in the air, it's going to have to fall down. That's the nature of the thoughts as well. So birth, death, birth, death. The arhats, no birth. All right? So when you die, why is it important? When you die, what happens? Your last thought is what matters. Okay? That's why the Tibetan, they train themselves so that they control the last thought. They produce the last thought, the proper last thought, if you will. Does it make sense? Because with that last thought here, that determines where you're going to go. So for example, if your last thought is a thought of anger, where will you be born next? Hells. The very last thought is the thought of anger. You'll be born in the hells. Last thought you have is, oh, I wish I have some Shake Shack. No? Okay? I wish I'd like some Shake Shack. So it's a thought of greed. Okay? Where are you going to go? Hungry ghosts, where you have thoughts of greed for food and you won't get satisfaction for millions of years. Millions upon millions of years. Now, how scary it is. You guys have no clues, but this is what the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas see. you become a hungry ghost because that's the very last thought right there you have. I wish I could have some of those curly fries before I go. Okay? Or I'll have some of that of mom's cooking. Oh no, not her. Okay? And because of that, you become a hungry ghost. You go the hungry ghost realm. This is why it's in Buddhism, the last thought, we know that you have no control over your last thought. You have nothing you can do. It's called a karmic retribution. Your creditors on your deathbed, okay, they want to make you fall, they want to make you pull down, so they do things to you so that your last thought, okay, will arise. Okay, so for example, they manipulate you so that you strike up a thought of anger, strike up a thought of greed for food, greed for money. You know, you say, oh my God, what do I do with my money when I die? Huh? And so forth. So they manipulate you. Because of that, you strike up a thought. That's how you get in trouble. Case in point, people who are sick. What are their thoughts? Negative thoughts. Pain. It hurts. Okay? It hurts so much. Why me? What did I do? Where are you going to go? Health. Anger. See that? That's why people don't realize it. You know, they're sick and they don't realize that when your body's in pain like that and you die, the last thought is a thought of pain and accompanied by anger. Why me? Life is so unfair. I've been doing good my entire life. I gave so much to go for us. And so forth. What are they doing? Why aren't they doing anything? Okay? So, I thought of anger right there, you will fall to the hells. So you have to be very careful. What about you in a hospital and you in great pain? And Nữ comes over and say, can I give you some opium? I mean morphine, not opium, sorry. A slip of a tongue. Okay? So even YongHua understands, oh God, this is scary. So you have this so they give you morphine, okay, to dull your pain. What happens to you? What pain, right? You say, I'm feeling good. No pain. Where are you going to go? Huh? No more else. Not heaven. Don't you wish? This guy's probably clearly, I don't know what he does after hours. Yes, Wei Mao. Andres. Sure, Andres has a question.
Master, what is that state comparing to the state of a person who enters samadhi?
Entering samadhi?
Yeah.
What samadhi? Which one?
Like good in samadhi. What's the difference between that and those who smoke opium and they feel good?
Okay.
When they die, what would happen?
Okay, good question. Fair question. I never tried it, so I can't speak from experience. For the record, okay? But assume if you agree, you understand it, if you do the morphine, from you have the tanker for you to become a cat or a mouse or something like that, okay? Is it clear? Okay? And guess what? You become a mouse, you can go to her house and demand repayment. Is it clear? Okay, so her fault. If your mouse has a lot of rats. Okay, so it's clear, right? But what about the people who are in pain? And it happened to one of my disciples. She's had surgery, major surgery, and the body is cut up, so it hurts. Okay, so what did she do? They gave her some painkillers. She took one pill and said, "No, I don't like this." Okay, so what did she do when she was in pain? Cross her legs and meditated. Okay, and just assuming that maybe when she was meditating and she entered samadhi and the house burns up in the what's the name of that fire? Dixon fire. Okay, so she dies. Where is she gonna go? While you think about that, let me get YouTube question here.
Emily asks, what if when someone's in pain, but think, oh good, I'm paying off my creditor?
Okay, it's remarkable. That's commendable. You're paying off your creditors. Are you still in pain? It doesn't matter. If you have good intention, everything, in that state of mind, if you have, you're in pain there, and you say, I can't take this anymore, this is too much. Okay, the last thought right there, you probably become a Minnie Mouse. I don't know. Okay, so depending on the nature of your last thought before you expire, some sort of fire alarm again. Our temple is so weird. Twice now, we have fire alarms. In a span of 2 hours. What do you guys do up here? Anyway, so so the question is, if you enter samadhi, what do you do? What happens? Where do you go? When you enter samadhi and you die, then you go to the heaven of that samadhi. Does it make sense? Okay, so the last thought is the thought of that heaven. Therefore, you go to the heaven. So far, so good? Yes, Daniel.
What do you have to do to be reborn as a human?
What is the thought for you to become human? Never try that. Anyone would like try to take a stab at it? How do you become human again? What's so great about human again? I mean, excuse me? Yes, do it. Black.
Master, you keep the 5 precepts.
How do you keep the 5 precepts in one thought?
So I don't know.
That's a principle, yes. But how do you keep the 5 precepts in one thought? Huh? Seriously, that's a lot of people. I'm gonna kill. I want to see. I want to. That's a lot of thoughts. You see, you guys read the text. You don't know what it really means. You only have one thought. And you say, which one do I choose? Oh my God, there are 5 of them. Yes. Where would you go? Well, I don't know. Making fun of people. Way Mountain.
To stay a human, maybe you think about your mother.
You think about your mother? So where do you go, you mean? Is that a question or an answer? I don't know where Andres comes from, but for some people, when they think of the mother, is a lot of anger. YouTube answer. Luckily, you can always count on YouTube.
Daniel says, you think about food?
Where would you go? Where would you go? You think about food. What kind of food, Daniel? You think about food, it's a thought of greed. So you go to the realm of hungry ghosts. And you think about food and pizza the rest of eternity. Okay, so how do you make sure you go back to the human realm? Way Mountain.
You go to Pure Land and then you ask Amitabha to send you back here.
It's a long detour. Can we go direct, please? I mean, if you go to the Pure Land and met Amitabha Buddha, why on earth would you want to come back here? Are you crazy? Okay, if you want to go back human realm, okay, the last thought you have is a thought that does not violate the 5 precepts. Precepts are rules of, so that you know you don't violate them, then you're keeping them. Okay? Thou shalt not kill. Yes? Thou shalt not steal. It's a not. Okay? So don't violate the killing, don't violate the stealing precepts, and so forth. Then you'll be back to the human realm. Does it help? Andres, does it help? Andres is bent upon coming back here. I mean, Hung is bent upon coming back here and continue his professional career pursuit. YouTube question.
Daniel asks, what happens if you think of heaven?
Which heaven? There's lots of heavens. These people, they think that heaven is just one heaven. The heavens in Buddhism, there are tons of heavens. But in his case, since we can't correct him, he's free to believe whatever he wants to believe. In his case, he says, I want to go to the heavens. Sounds familiar? Huh? Daniel? This is Daniel number 2. Huh? Right? What kind of thought is that? I want to go to the heavens. YouTube answer.
Daniel says he wants, the heaven he's talking about is the God heaven.
Excuse me, which God again? Okay, so I want to go to heaven. What kind of thought is that? Greed, exactly. I'd rather be in the heavens because it's preferable to anywhere else. That's greed. So where do you go instead of going to be his God? Hungry ghosts or asuras. See, that particular Daniel we have down south, he has a lot of blessings. So instead of going to the hungry ghost realm, he become an asura himself because he has the blessings, but he can't go to the heavens. Oh, sorry. Okay, going back to slide 103. One kasana has 900 birth and death. That's how finite it is. Okay, how minute it is. All right. So, yes, green.
What's the birth and death here? It's not the.
The thought arises. That's one birth death.
But then one thought has 90
Kasana.
kasanas, and the one kasana has 900 birth and deaths.
So in
there's-
one thought, there are.
So there's 81,000 birth and deaths of thoughts within one thought? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, there's one thought you have there. The one thought you have there actually is broken up into 91,000 minute thoughts. You only aware one thought. Actually, there's 91,000 minute thoughts.
Okay, yeah.
You break it down to that level. That's how many thoughts you can produce. Your mind can produce. That's how fast your mind is. You just aren't aware of it, that's all. Isn't that incredible? How fast your mind can really be? Can be so fast. And these sages can keep track. They say, oh, there you go. When they go 81,000, 81,000 times. Okay. All right. Places all at once arise. Time constantly arises, not dependent on other causes.
处则以顿起，时则以长起，不待别因。
Okay, so here there's a note from our group, our support team who prepared these slides. Okay. And argue with each other over the translation and so forth. And you notice in Chinese, Master YongHua's version or recitation is slightly different from the official version. Okay, that's fine, but wouldn't really make a difference at all. But we choose the official C beta version, which is the scholarly, universally recognized version, okay? And so it says, places all arise at once, okay? Meaning that the places, meaning that it could be as big as worlds, all right, boom! A world comes into being. Okay, that's a lot faster than a scientist can measure, and the time constantly arises. Okay, time continues without any breaks, not dependent on other causes. Okay, they're totally independent. All right. So you see these multi-dimensional activities everywhere and throughout time. That's why it's impossible for us to keep track of. You too, go ahead.
Daniel asks, does it mean that if a Buddhist wants to go to Pure Land, that they will go to hell because of greed?
No, if you want to go to the Pure Land, okay, I mean, if you want to go to the heavens, then most likely you go down to the Hungry Ghost realm. You'll be born in Hungry Ghost realm. Buddhas, when they say, I want to go to the Pure Land, it's not greed at all. Buddhas don't have greed anymore. Otherwise, they cannot become Buddhas. Okay? Once you become a Buddha, you will never, ever be greedy again. Ever. So the concept of greed for Buddha is only nonsense. Next, 106. Yet in compliance with seeing and hearing, they are said to be in the distinction of first accomplishment and 9 assemblies.
但随见闻，说有出尘九会之别。
Okay. You understand what this is about? Very simple, okay? Don't be alarmed by all this because, because it's fascinating. In compliance of seeing and hearing, it means that for us, common mortals, who are accustomed to seeing and hearing, seeing the Buddha speak the Dharma, hearing the sound of the Dharma, okay? So that from our perspective, okay, there are the concept of seeing and hearing, but actually, from the Buddha's perspective, it's endless, it's everywhere, okay? So that's why, but from our perspective, the way we talk about this sutra as in human realm, okay, then that's why we talk about this sutra being spoken at 9 assemblies, at 7 different places, okay, at such times. That's all it means. But to the sages, to the Buddhas, there's no distinction, no such distinction. So far, so good? Next. Don't try to understand. There's no way for us to understand. Forget it, okay? Just listen, share it. Yes, I heard that before. I heard that. Eventually, one day, you say, that's what it is. That's what's the cool thing about Mahayana. One day, the aha moment. All the kind and compassionate ones in the midst of infinity summarize this transmission.
诸慈悲者于无尽中略此流传。
109. All the kind and compassionate ones, that's the Buddhas. Buddhas are always kind and compassionate. Okay? In the midst of infinity, it's boundless. Their state is boundless. Buddhas are boundless. Okay? Infinity. Whatever characteristics the Buddhas have, is infinite. Is that clear? It's an incredible state. Everything about Buddhas is infinite. Everything. Okay? The nose, you see, actually, it's everywhere in the universe. See that? Try to understand that. So they, in the midst of infinities, summarize this transmission. And according to Master YongHua, summarize this transmission, meaning a transmission is a teaching of the Flower Adornment Sutra principles. Okay, so they summarize this transmission. So they have to. They can only transmit to us a summary of what they try to teach, because we cannot handle infinity in our mind. Okay? So far, so good? That's out of kindness and compassion. Next, 110. When brought to search in this, one sees unbounded dharmas like peering through a keyhole and seeing endless space.
另寻于此，见无边法，如观有系，见无际空。
Okay, 111, commentary. One brought to search in this, one sees unbounded dharma like peering through a keyhole and seeing endless space. If you want to search in this teaching here, you look closely into this Flower Adornment Sutra teaching here, you will see boundless dharmas. Okay, infinite dharmas. Okay, it's like when we look through this summary of transmission, it's like we study it. It's like peeping through a keyhole. Okay, one tiny keyhole, and you see through that tiny opening, in a keyhole of a keyhole, which is the same size as the Flower and Dormant Sutra teachings. Okay, about that size. And by peeping through this keyhole, by looking at this Flower and Dormant Sutra, you will see the infinite Buddhist teaching. Okay? It's an inconceivable state. Next, 112. Now, these times and places both are infinite. One place is all places, one time is all times.
而此时处，即同无尽，以一处即一切处。
Could you raise your voice a little bit, please? It's like you are so hesitant, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to have, convey a certain sense of self-confidence as if you pretend you know what you're reading about.
而此时处，即同无尽，以一处即一切处，一时即一切时故。
Better. Okay. No wonder Taiwan is such a tiny island. Now, these times and places both are infinite. These times and places mentioned in the Flower and Dormant Sutra are infinite. Okay, and time also infinite. You can talk. The Buddha speaks this Flower and Dormant Sutra in infinitely many places, infinitely long. Okay, so the concept is one place is all places, one time is all times. You cannot imagine that the size, the infinite, these infinite places, infinite time, then from your perspective, from our perspective, from our intellect, you only have to remember this one place is actually all places. This one time here is actually all times. It's beautiful, clever teaching. Something you can understand, okay? One place there is actually all places. Okay? One child is all children. So you love one child, the same you love all children. Same kind of mindset. Okay? That's wisdom, by the way. 114. 2. Because of the fulfillment of past causes. Why is the Dharma that way, that they thus turn? It is because the past causes were deep.
丑素因者，何以法尔如是转耶？素因生故。
Okay. Remember we were talking about the causes and conditions why this sutra was spoken in the first place. And we went through the first cause, and this is the second cause. The second cause is because of fulfillment of past causes. Meaning what? That why is the Dharma that way, that they thus turn? The way that the Buddha spoke the Dharma, and in particular spoke the Flower and Dormant Sutra, is because the past causes were deep, very, very deep. And he will elaborate. Next, 116. When the roots are deep, then the fruit is flourishing. When the source is distant, then the flow is long.
素因生故，夫根深则果茂，远远则流长。
Okay, so there's no comment here. Okay, the roots are deep. When the roots are deep, then the fruit is flourishing, and lots of fruits. When the source is distant, then the flow is long. Let's see this. Okay, there's a commentary. It's a little bit out of order. Okay, let me skip to that. When the roots are deep, then the fruit is flourishing. So you have deep roots, you have more nutrients, more foliage, therefore more flowers that bees can come to, which then produce more fruits. When the source is distant, then the flow is long. the source from far away, and then it's a long stream of water, body of water. And because the past causes were deep, the rise of teaching is also great. Okay, these causes very profound. These Buddhas and Bodhisattvas planted some very deep causes so that they end up teaching this Flower Dormant Sutra upon becoming a Buddha. Okay? Because the past causes were deep, the arisal of teaching is also great. And because the roots are deep, and then the teaching is also great. Okay, now, next, 119. How were they deep and great? The Buddha, the world-honored one, began and followed the esoteric traces and settled into wondrous stillness.
深大云何，我佛世尊创设玄中，七神妙极。
Commentary 120. How were they deep and great? These deep causes and that created, that produced the great teaching. The Buddha, world-honored one, began and followed the esoteric traces. Esoteric is very difficult to understand. Traces, meaning the footsteps of ancient Buddhas. Every Buddha, they practiced the Bodhisattva path, became a Buddha, and then as they became a Buddha, they all speak the Flower Dormant Sutra. That's the first thing they do. Any one who becomes a Buddha will do that. Anyone who wants to become a Buddha will have to make that vow that you speak the Flower Dormant Sutra, otherwise you cannot become a Buddha. Now you know. Okay? And settle into wondrous stillness. So they follow the footsteps of ancient Buddhas, and that's how they became Buddhas. They reach wondrous stillness. Yes, Black.
Master, can Buddhas come into this world if there are no confused people?
Buddhas, can they come to our world when there are no confused people? Good question. Can they come into a world without confused people? Anyone help me out? Yes, Daniel.
Don't the Buddhas come into the world for people?
For people. But what if they're not confused? Huh? What if they're not confused? Would they come to the world? No. You win. Orange.
Nếu mà giả dụ thôi chứ không thể nào có, là thế giới này không còn người mê muội thì Đức Phật không có cái nguyện gì ở đây hết, cho nên cũng không có tới. Đức Phật không có chỉ tới những cái nơi nào mà có chúng sanh cần phải độ thôi.
Nice break. Thank you very much. Wei Mao question. So translation. Yes, a voice from hell again. Translation of the answer. Wei Yin go for it. She says no. Basically, if no confused people, then the Buddha has no reason to come to the world. Wei Mao question.
Master, what happened to Chang Qi Guang Jing Du, where all the sages are all together?
Okay, so what happened? All the sages are together. Okay, YouTube had the answer for that, clearly.
Cordelia says, without cause and effect, Buddha will not come.
Wait a minute. I just saw Cordelia, right? Is she in all places at all times now? This is too much. Never mind. What did she say again? I was shocked by, that voice.
Cordelia said, without cause and effect, Buddha will not come.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Green.
Emitofuo, on the other hand, Master, I'm thinking that Buddha will come because even though you're not confused, but it doesn't mean that you know everything. He can still show you. You can still learn a lot from him.
Okay. He still wants the Buddha, according to her, the Buddha still want to come to the world because you don't know everything yet. Okay. Anyone else? If you're not confused, does that mean you're enlightened? Does it mean you're a Buddha? Can you be not confused and not be a Buddha? To be not confused is not to be confused with being a Buddha. Translate that. Look at the Koreans, they're so serious. They don't know what we do. Why are we always laughing? Of course, if you're not confused, that doesn't mean you're a Buddha. You're not confused doesn't mean you have wisdom. Okay? It doesn't mean in particular you're not a Buddha. Buddha is more than just not be confused. Case in point, to be not confused in Buddhism is a state of a fourth-stage arhat. When you reach a fourth-stage arhat, you're not confused anymore. Theoretically speaking, you're not confused anymore. You're not confused by what? By marks, by appearances. You understand, you have transcendental wisdom where you're no longer confused. Because of that, lack of confusion, you will not revolve in a wheel reincarnation anymore. But does it mean that you're a Buddha? No, it doesn't. You still are not a Buddha, even though you're not confused. Is that clear? Okay. So it's the question. The question is easy to answer because in terms of technical jargon, is a good point. But the choice of words means that I'm very bossy, huh? It's like, he gets older and says, "Hey, you!" So yes, of course, you even though you're not confused, you still need help. So, for example, like the a question earlier from Wei Mountain Temple. He says, what about the people in the Buddha lands where they're not confused, like in the Western Bliss Pure Land? The sages cohabit with the confused people. Okay, and right there, the proof is right there that in that Western Bliss Pure Land, there's still unconfused, not confused people living with confused people, studying under Amitabha Buddha. So the answer is yes, absolutely. You still need a Buddha to help teach those people who are not Buddhas yet to become Buddhas. Okay? It's not something you can do that you can do on your own. Much easier if you have the Buddha's help. Okay? That's the Buddha's job, is to teach us. Okay? Whoever we are. He doesn't necessarily ask you to be a Buddhist or Catholic or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you're confused or you're not a Buddha yet, he'll find a way to help you. All right? Next, 121. Compassion and wisdom were both employed, while his conduct and vows were of equal scope.
悲智双运，行愿起周。
So when the Buddha work, okay, he utilizes both compassion and wisdom. Why compassion and wisdom? Compassion is what drives him to come and help us out. He sees us suffering, even though we don't see ourselves suffering. He sees us as suffering, okay? And that's what compels him, that's what drives him to approach us and try to help us out. So that's out of compassion. He sees. This is a fundamental tenet of the Buddhist teaching. He sees suffering. That's why he says, out of compassion on these people who are suffering, these beings who are suffering, I will come and find a way to rescue them, to help them end their suffering and attain bliss, get the exact opposite of suffering. Okay? That's Buddhism. That's the Buddha at the best. And wisdom were employed. Wisdom here refers to the fact that in order to help people, this is a very important point, folks. You want to help people, okay? It's beyond just giving money. It's beyond just giving advices. But in order to truly help people, you need transcendental wisdom. Wisdom here is not just experience, as we in the human realm call wisdom is worldly experience, okay? Whereas actually wisdom here refers to prajna wisdom. Okay? Chu here is prajna wisdom. Okay? So you need to have prajna wisdom to help others. All right? So don't try to help prematurely. How's that? Follow the Buddha's, look at the Buddha's advice, look at the Buddha's way of doing it. He does it out of compassion and wisdom. So you need both. You need to have compassion for others' suffering and wisdom to know how to effectively help them. All right? While his conduct and vows were of equal scope. Okay? Okay. You need both vows and conduct, meaning that you need to have the desire, you make it known to others, that you make a vow, meaning that you make it known to yourself and to others that you want to do something, and then the practice is to fulfill, to realize those vows. Okay, so it must be equal scope, equal scope, meaning that the will, the desire to help, it must be vast, must be all-encompassing, must be infinite. Buddhas become Buddhas because they vow to help infinite living beings. Okay? And once they make that vows, that's why when you became a Buddha, or you became Buddhist, you made those 4 vast vows. You say, living beings, Phú Biên, is boundless. I vow to save them all. Do you remember that? Okay, you don't. That's good. Your afflictions are countless. You vow to sever them. Okay, that's another vow. And the Dharma doors are numberless. You vow to study them all. Okay. And then you vow to accomplish the Buddha, become a Buddha. So the eco-scope here means that these vows are infinite, and the practices have to also be infinite. Is it possible? Scary for you to sit there and say, "Oh, I just had lunch. I enjoyed my lunch, and now I have to keep on coming back here infinitely." Huh? What to do? Andres. Oh, he's gone already. You lost Andres. Teddy bear. Anyone? Why is it infinite? Yes, Green.
We just talk about one place is all places, one time is all time.
So it's infinite. But why infinite?
Why infinite?
Yes. This is such a clever teaching. Oh, you guys missed the point completely. Why is it Flower Dharma Sutra is the one that says infinite? You know, in the other sutras, you learn about Shrangma Sutra, Varsa Sutra, Amitabha Sutra, and all those things is not infinite, right? The Flower Dharma Sutra, every single thing is infinite, right, boy? Hey!
Right, that's what I was referring to. Everything is infinite. So
why?
Because the Dharma realm described here is infinite.
Well, it's very, very clever. It's so beautiful. If I explain this, God will say, why didn't I use it and teach my Catholics, my Christians, my sheeps? Huh? Why did I use it? It's so clever. Why infinite? Huh? Because what happens when you hear infinity? What happens when you hear infinity? You say, time, one time is all times. Okay? That's infinite, right? So what do? You look and look and look and look, and then what? And then what? Hey! Aloha. Huh? What do? It's infinite. It goes on and on and on and on. What do? Yes, green.
You just do what you can for now, right here.
So
right
you
now.
you give up. I don't know about this girl from China, but I give up. The Vietnamese people always say, when the infinite, we give up. No, it's too much for me. That's what I do. Meaning what? You stop discriminating. He says, okay, I believe you. Right? I mean, speaking from a lazy person's perspective. Okay, it's okay. Don't, stop. I believe you. To me, that's so clever. You stop trying to understand. You stop trying to put your arms around it. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, so this has the formidable result of making your discriminating mind rest. Say, it's okay. Okay? When you hear this mentioned infinite, it's okay, I believe you. So it makes your mind stop thinking, stop discriminating, and your faith kicks in and says, I don't get it, it's okay, I believe you. It's beautiful. Oh, never mind. You don't get it. It's okay. 123. Therefore, with false thought not cut off, he pierced straight through to emptiness.
是以妄想否减而扩彻性空。
Don't have to translate that. The efficacious mirror had not been polished, and yet he certainly was clear to the 10,000 dharmas.
灵见匪魔而顿朗万法。
Okay, now he goes into these analogies, that kind of advanced concepts. Okay, but with thoughts, false thoughts not cut off. Not cut off because Buddhas no longer need to cut off false thoughts when there's no more false thoughts. Why? It's there, therefore, there's no need to cut them off. He pierced straight through to emptiness. And isn't there some Chinese text here? At this point here, I didn't have the Chinese text. That's why, sorry, Xin. I didn't include the Chinese text for you. Okay, so there is a gatha. It says the self nature is like empty. The Chinese right here. What I'm talking about. Sorry, the Chinese self nature is like empty space. True or false are within it. When you pierce straight through to the basic substance with one penetration, everything is penetrated. You get that? Yeah, read it. It's
自
beautiful.
性如虚空，真妄在其中，扩彻本来体，一通一切通。
Okay, so your self-nature is your Buddha nature. That's you. Okay, that's you. When we talk about Buddha nature, don't try to understand. Don't say, oh, it's a Buddha nature. No, it's you. It's us. Okay? It's like empty space. Empty space is infinite. True or false are within it, okay, that contains everything. True and false. False and true. Okay? Everything is contained. Okay? When you pierce straight through to this basic substance, when you look at true and false, and you ponder about it, okay? This, not just ponder, but you contemplate the true and the false, because your mind is predicated upon distinguishing true and false. So whatever you like to contemplate, the true or the false, doesn't matter. You contemplate the true or the false, and you pierce through. Either the true or the false, or both, it doesn't matter. And when you pierce through, you see the basic substance behind it, behind what your thinking mind think as true or false. Behind it, there's a basic substance. In other words, the true or false are what? Are mere marks, that are labeled as true or false. Okay? And when you go beyond the true and the false, then you go behind and you see the basic substance. Okay? So far, so good. You go back to the basic substance, you pierce through to the basic substance, and when you, with that one penetration, meaning what? Think of it as a door, Dharma door. Now you understand why in Buddhism we have the concept of Dharma door. Dharma door is just a door. That Dharma you practice, whether it's Pure Land, whether it's chant, whether it's recitation, whether it's repentance, which we'll do tomorrow, okay? That's one Dharma door. And you go through that door and you enter to your basic substance, your Buddha nature. And with that, through the entry right there, everything is penetrated, meaning that once you get there, you'll be able to pierce through all the true and all the false, all the marks. Go ahead, Black.
Quick question, Master. Would you say that to distinguish someone as Buddha or not a Buddha, is that a mark as well?
Someone is Buddha or not a Buddha is a mark?
To make that distinction, to say someone's a Buddha or someone's not a Buddha, would that be a mark?
What do you think? Is it a mark or not? Do I sound defensive? If I sounded defensive, I apologize. What is it? Is it a mark?
To me, it's a mark, yes.
It is a mark, absolutely. If you say, I don't see any Buddha, sorry. No, you Buddha to be. Hey, Buddha to be. Okay? That's a mark, yes? Hey, Buddha to be. Hey, Buddha, that's a mark, yes? So why are we talking about it? We're talking about it, we're talking from the perspective of a person who's not a Buddha yet. So you speak the same language. Okay, that's all. One penetration, everything is penetrated. Once you pass through that door right there, okay, that you have access to your substance, meaning you have access to everything. It's nothing that you cannot understand. Nothing. Okay? The key here is get through that door, any door. And we have countless doors in Buddhism, okay, for you to go through. And once you go through any of these doors, then you go back to your basic Buddha nature, inherent Buddha nature. It's nothing you don't understand. Meaning what? Be careful here. Let's be very, very careful, very precise here. If you go through that door, you break through the door of the discriminating mind. You put an end to your discriminating mind, okay? The true and the false, and I don't care anymore. You break through there and you go and you see your Buddha nature, your basic substance. What happens? What happens? Yes, go ahead. Green, thank you.
Beautiful Master, may I say, could it be that when you pass through that door, you will have wisdom and you don't discriminate?
You have the same wisdom as the Buddha, believe it or not. Meaning what? It sounds great, huh? And Daniel said, no, you cannot have the same. I'd rather have God's wisdom. Both Daniels, I think. Okay? So what does it mean you have the same wisdom as the Buddha? Seriously. This is very important. I want you to be careful about this distinction here. It's not the way it sounds. They have the same wisdom, the Buddha, meaning that you can be taught. Meaning that now you can understand. Now you can tell you things that we could not tell you before. So we have to wait all this time for you to go through that door. Then we explain more to you. Until then, you will not be able to get it. You won't get it. Is that clear? That's a difference. You're not the same as the Buddha yet. You have the same wisdom as the Buddha. Meaning that Buddha's wisdom, whatever he has, he can teach it to you and you'll be able to understand. Whereas we cannot understand when they teach it to us. Yes?
I remember we
try
talked
using fingernails. You know what I mean?
No. Oh, yeah. That's what Ty was
See,
trying
he
to
likes
say.
it. Yeah, better? Huh? Say it.
I remember we talk about being the same substance as...
We have. You see, our Avatamsaka Sutra lecture has everything for everyone.
We talk about having the same substance as Buddha. I think that's a word in the Sixth Patriarch Sutra. I think.
Yeah.
We have that's the same thing as having.
It's the same thing, same exact thing. You go into that room already, that area where they speak different languages, and they understand each other.
And
whereas when we hear them speak among themselves, we can spy on them. Okay? We won't understand.
Right. So that's basically the level of like any ground bodhisattva.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So that's why the first ground is so important, because first ground, then we say, by the way, first ground is fantastic, but there's more. Let me tell you. And you know what? When you speak these first ground people, they understand what you're talking about. When you say that to the fourth stage Arhat, the Arhat says, huh? What are you sure? Okay? So they don't get it. That's the difference. So that's why it's very important for you fourth stage Arhat to know how stupid you are. I can't tell you yet the truth. We have to say, here's the food, enjoy the food, and so forth. Because you don't get it yet. You have to wait and wait and wait and wait. Just like babies. They can only get so much. No, you have to scratch them. With the real fingernails. Yes, Orange.
A Di Đà Phật, thưa thầy, trong kinh có câu nhất thông, nhất thiết thông, cho nên con thấy có nhiều khuynh hướng. Người ta nói nếu mà tu thiền thì tu thiền thôi, niệm Phật, tịnh độ thì tịnh độ, mật thì mật, tách rời ba cái pháp môn đó. Thì như vậy có phải là chấp trước hay không?
Is that translation, or is there translation? Is translation okay now, or shall we still go?
I'm translating. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we can hear you. Oh, thank you, Lord.
So I hear there's a saying that say like if one is penetrating, everything is penetrated. So that's why a lot of people say that, okay, if I meditate, I only practice meditation. Tantra, I only practice Tantra, or the people who follow Pure Land Dharma, they say, I will only practice Pure Land. Does that mean that they have attachment?
Yeah, very good. So you see, what she said is correct. It's very good. It should be, the translation could be better. Instead of pierce straight through, he yeah, that's fine. Okay, sorry, never mind. Okay, fine. So yes, absolutely. Again, be careful about how you these things are said and are interpreted. When it says one is penetrated, all is penetrated, this refers to you have to make it through the first ground level. That's why it's meant one is penetrated. You need to make to that one door. The door, any door that brings you to first ground state of Bodhisattva. Okay? Doesn't care however you do it, whichever door you use it, but you have to pierce through that. And that's how you get to the first ground level. Then everything is penetrated, meaning that once you get there, that's what we just said. Once you get through that, okay, everything is penetrated, meaning that now we can explain everything to you. Until then, we can't really explain to you. We have to wait until you grow up. Just like a parent, we have to wait until they're old enough for us to teach them. Okay? So we babysit them until they're mature enough to understand. Does it make sense? So that's why in Buddhism, the Buddha looks at us as his children for that reason. Same kind of rationale looks at us as his children. So he patiently waits until we're ready to be taught. We're mature enough to be taught. Wei Mountain has a question.
네, 아까 마스터께서 우리가 문을 뚫어야 된다고 그랬는데 저희가 어떤 문으로 들어가야 제일 좀 쉽게 들어갈 수 있나요?
So you told me that we have to penetrate the door. So what kind of door?
Is Jimmy here? We're going to give him some electrical shocks to kind of encourage him to fix the problem.
You talked about that we need to penetrate one door. So do you recommend one easy door that we can penetrate?
What door is easier to penetrate? Okay, I don't know about you. Okay, for me, my preferred Dharma door is kimchi. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which door. So to say that I only practice Chan, I only practice Pure Land, I only practice Tantra, that shows that you don't understand yet. Okay, the people, it's a statement for confused people. I am a Chan person, I'm a Pure Land person. I only teach Chan. I don't teach Pure Land. I don't believe Pure Land. You know, if you say you don't believe Pure Land, you don't believe that Amitabha Buddha exists, all you're doing to yourself is to stop yourself from becoming enlightened through these Pure Land Dharma doors. If you say, I practice Pure Land, I don't practice Chan, I don't practice Tibetan Buddhism, They're only stopping yourself from using the other Dharma doors. It can help you get there as well. Some of you may be facetious and say, see, I always knew Master is always greedy for flavors. He's into kimchi. Okay? I assure you, those you who are laughing at me right now, when I become enlightened, because I practice the kimchi Dharma door, you'll regret it. I will not teach it to you. That's all. Okay? So there are 84,000 Dharma doors. Who are you to decide that? You know, the Buddha says 84,000 Dharma doors. You say, I only practice 2. Why are there 84,000 Dharma doors, you know? Because they're all equal. They're all the same. Like Lily, for the past few years, Lily has been coming to Wei Mountain Temple and bowing and bowing and bowing and meditating, and she keeps on. Every time she has a chance, she asks me the same question. Master, will you teach me the easiest Dharma door for me to become enlightened? That's all I ask. All the kimchi, all the Korean dishes I fed you. You remember? Okay, now you have to teach me the easiest Dharma door. My answer is very simple. Kimchi Dharma door. You too.
Cordelia asks, so if we cut off all of our afflictions, can we figure out which is the correct Dharma door for each of us?
Oh, this woman is impossible. Go back to bed, get some rest. You have to work tonight. Stop bothering us. This woman is impossible. You're supposed to be resting and sleeping. What are you doing? Asking questions. And that's where you people, excuse me, sound derogative, but you people have this obsession about what is the best thing for me. You know, you have to give me the best. What is it? Daniel, what is that? Give me the best Dharma door. Give me the easiest Dharma door. Give me the fastest Dharma door. Give me, like the old monk here, give me the most powerful Dharma door. Give me. What is that, Daniel? What's more difficult for Daniel? Give me the most difficult one. Go ahead, green. Orange, green.
Master, I don't know if you heard like in the what is transcendental meditation, they give everyone like a personal mantra and then charge like, I don't know, a few $1,000 for it. So you get your own mantra.
Your own mantra?
So
I have that too.
I guess that's what people want.
I have 84,000 mantras, by the way. I swear to God. Okay? Absolutely. So the answer to Lily is that I do have a special, easiest Dharma door for her. Please see me after class. So what is the easiest? What is the most powerful? What is the best Dharma door? And that's a question that every single Buddhist disciples ask. Everyone, not just Lily. Everyone. It's just you are lazy. You say, I feel so good. I have a good meal. Okay, I'm so thrilled. Okay? No, everyone has that. Only Lily is honest as you say, just give me the best one. Okay? I'm too old to wait for you. You take too long to explain everything. I cannot believe it. I hope that you finish explaining the Avatamsaka Sutra before I die. So what's the best one? The Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all give the same answer. Yes, Wei Mountain. What's the best one?
Can you hear me? Hi. If I don't make it to the Pure Land, I thought perhaps there's a place called, it's in the Himalayas. It's a village where I can probably go pick up a body there temporarily and just take a vacation from LA. I heard there's no disease, there's no cancer.
No COVID-19?
What was that? There's
No
no internet either. There's
COVID-19?
no Facebook.
No
There's no
Facebook.
Facebook, no pollution, no disease, and no vaccines. It's like a village.
Wait. Does it sound like there's no Democrats either?
There's just none of that.
None of that. Only Republicans.
I thought I'd take a vacation out there.
Yeah,
just
I'd love to
get away
go.
from LA for a while.
How
go
about,
there.
is there beaches? Are there beaches there?
No, there is no beaches.
I'm not interested. Forget it.
You can live a long time there without diseases and all that stuff.
Sounds like Nirvana to me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's where I'm going if
That's
I don't
where
make it
you're
to
going.
the Pure Land.
Is that, you think of that, is it a Pure Land or has nothing to do with the Pure Land?
I know, but if I don't make it to the Pure Land, at least I can go take a vacation there and
Go
rest.
vacation first, Pure Land later.
Exactly. Maybe I'll go to the Pure Land after that. After spending time there, maybe a year.
No,
and
once,
then
I have bad news for you. Once you go on vacation there, you won't make it to the Pure Land. You like it too
Okay.
much. Yeah,
Okay, Master. Thank you.
you're welcome. We see you at the beaches. Pure Land has lots of beaches. You know what I mean? You have these humongous lakes. There are ponds that are much bigger than the Pacific Ocean. In the Pure Land, the countless of these ponds, these lakes, they are so humongous. So there's lots more beaches in the Pure Land. Anyway, never mind. So absolutely, that's what your Dharma door is, to go on vacation and then go to the Pure Land. That works for me too. Go ahead, YouTube, answer.
Venerable Shannon says greed.
It's greed. Excellent. What was the question again?
The question was, what was the best Dharma door?
Exactly. It's greed. What's the best one? What's the quickest one? What's the most powerful one? That's greed. Cut it out. Okay? No need for that. All right? Everyone who studies Buddhism says 84,000 Dharma doors. Give me the most powerful one. Give me the best one. Okay? And that's normal. However, it's not necessary. Okay? The answer from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas is that all Dharma doors are level and equal. Meaning what? They can all help you get through that door. Pierce through. And when that happens, that's what you're striving to do. You don't care how it's done. If you are stuck on, I want this, I want it this way, I want it that way, okay, that is called attachment. It's not going to work. You don't need to be attached. Whatever it takes to get through, that's your Dharma door. Okay? Meaning what? Let's be real. That's what I think. That's what Lily is driving at. What's the easiest? Okay? There's no easiest. They're all, I'm sorry to tell her, they're all hard. There's no such a Dharma door that's easy for you to pierce through to your basic substance. There's no such a thing. Okay? So the answer for her is 0. They're all hard. All right? The objective, and we should resolve this once for all, the objective is to somehow get to the basic substance. In Chan school, they call it see your nature. That's all we try to do. It doesn't matter how. It's not about whether the Koreans, they're crazy about the Hua Tou, the Chinese are crazy about the Koan, Kung, the Chinese are crazy about the Gungan, and so forth. There's no need for that. There's no need to discriminate. Okay? Whatever that. So the answer is whatever it takes for you to make progress. Can we be real? Okay? Let's talk turkey. Talk vegetarian. Okay? What is this about? It doesn't matter. Like you invest in cryptocurrency. The objective is what? To make a lot of money. Yes? Doesn't matter how, right? Could be. What are those things? Bitcoins? What else? Ether? Huh? Dogecoin? Huh? What else? Huh? Come on, help me out. You guys are the expert. Then people will think a master is into cryptocurrency now. Okay? I don't discriminate. Whatever makes money, okay? Let's face it. So the point here is that do not forget the objective. When you invest, the objective is to make money, oodles of money, okay? And skip town. Something like that, right? So it doesn't matter how. So if you say, I'm a Bitcoin person, I am a Cardano, what they do? What is the currency for Cardano? Huh? 88. Gotcha. Another greedy person right there. 88. Good Lord, I'm impressed. And I thought she's lazy. No, she is very well informed. So how much is your holding in ADA? Can we talk about this? I need some advice. I have $200. I heard if I invest $200 in 10 years, how much can I expect to make? You see, the point here is it doesn't matter how. You just want to become enlightened, whether it's Pure Land, whether it's Chan, whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's kimchi, who cares? Just get enlightened, that's all. Does it make sense? Don't be so stuck. That's why the young lady here is correct. When people say, I'm a Pure Land person, I'm a Chan person, and so forth, it's not necessary. I'm a tantric person. I only practice Vietnamese things. I only practice Korean things. I only practice Hua Tou. I only do ceremony in Malay. What's the language in Malay? Greek? No? Malay. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Ole is the other language, yes. Yeah. Ole! Yes, sir.
I have an investing question, Master.
Yes. Thank you so much.
If I invest in like companies like Philip Morris, let's say, and make a lot of money in that,
yeah,
is that karma for me?
I don't care. Let's go back. Can we go back to cryptocurrency, please? Yes, Green.
Master, I think we should go back to crypto, but I'm thinking I have an idea.
Yeah,
Can you?
I'm listening.
For our temple, can we have like accepting donation with crypto?
So what Dharma door shall we call this? crypto Dharma door. And there's a reason for that. We make a lot of money. We donate all of that to Master. To Triple Jewel. Okay? If you make a lot of money in cryptocurrency, or you make a lot of money in these companies, okay, are there consequences? I don't think so. It's a good thing. You remember me when you make a lot of money? It's called speculation. Okay? And monks and nuns are not supposed to do speculation. But you are not, you don't have to worry about that. Okay? If you do that, because that's what you want to do, to me, there's nothing wrong with it, as long as you remember me when you. If you invest in a tobacco company and you make a lot of money, okay, it's not necessarily a good thing, because you're making money. This is the problem I have with Mr. Buffett. You make money, you invest in these companies who are creating bad karma. They are harmful to the environment, to people. For example, I'm sorry, Mr. Buffett, please forgive me, but for example, what is he investing? Coke or Pepsi? Coke, thank you. I know that. Coke is poison. I do drink it. I do like it over Pepsi. My Taiwanese one, she likes Pepsi and I like Coke. Okay, but in order to spite Mr. Buffett, I publicly proclaim I don't like Coke. Actually, I do like Coke and Dr. Pepper and a slice of pizza. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. If you invest in these companies whose business are harmful to others, okay, you're creating bad karmas indirectly. Okay, so it's called blood money, blood diamonds. Okay, it's best that you have blood diamonds. I will help you wash them. Yes, Black.
No question. During COVID, right, a lot of people die, right? So I made some money on mortuary stocks.
Mortuary stock?
Mortuary, morgue.
What?
Morgue, like when people die and then they get buried or they get, mortuary.
Oh, mortuary.
Yeah.
I was thinking of investing there as well.
So they provide a service, right? But I'm not sure it's a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing. By the way, the monks are not allowed. The monks are not allowed to go into that kind of service. We are not allowed. Okay, we don't go into cemeteries. We don't invest in cemeteries, land, and build cemeteries and charge people for it. Mortuaries, we cannot go into that business. Funeral homes, we cannot do that. We cannot sell coffins. Can't do that. Okay? So that's also blood money. Okay? There's some consequences. Be careful. If you have blood money, I'm serious now. You have blood money, that money you pass on to your children, they will have to carry the consequences with you as well. That's why That's why, yes, Daniel, I'm coming to you. That's why the people who made a lot of money by illicit means, they pass on to their children. Their children are not happy. Okay? They can't hang on to the wealth for very, very long at all. Okay? So it's not a good idea at all. Okay? There's some consequences that are not necessarily good for your family. Because the intent for you is to do good for your family. So it's best to do good for your family with by creating good karma, but not creating bad karma at all. Okay? Yes, Daniel.
What would you advise us for washing that blood money?
Washing blood diamonds? Blood money? We do have a washer and dryer. Washer and dryer. Blood assets? Like what?
Like the example I was giving, or whatever. Money that was made from bad karma.
Like drug business?
Drug business, whatever, all kinds of stuff like that.
I have tremendous respect for. Excuse me, I do get emotional. It's bigger than I am. So what do you do with that? Okay. Don't panic. Please don't panic. Okay? It's there. Okay? It's there. So you can do something good with it. So that even though it carries some consequences associated with that type of assets. So you're receiving that, you have to shoulder the burden. Okay? It comes to you. Folks, nothing is free in life. So if you pass on to your children good assets, okay, they will benefit greatly from it. When you pass on bad assets, they also have to pay. They also have to suffer themselves. Okay? So you have these assets. You know there's some consequences. Yes, it's just a fact of life. Okay? Now, instead of saying, no, I don't believe you, you know, I didn't steal, I didn't kill, so what's the big deal? Okay? It's still blood assets. All right? And the blood assets has tentacles, and they will come to you because they know they're entitled to come to you. Okay? It's their right to come to you, come at you. Okay? So you know they're coming because you received it already. So, can I recommend to you? Pass it on to Master YongHua's temples? I'm scared too. Do you think I want that blood asset? No. Because I have to bear the consequences. Okay? So what you do is you should be aware of that. And the smart thing to do is you wash it, you compensate. Okay? You know it's coming. So, for example, you build churches, you build bridges, you help people with that asset. Okay? So it compensates for, it makes up for it. But so now you have a mixed bag, good, bad, instead of only bad things. Does it make sense? No. All right, anyone else? All right. Where were we? Did we answer all the questions, or are there still outstanding issues? Way Mountain has a question.
I have a question. Isn't it just easier to just, for example, they don't want to keep the money and they know that it came from wrong places, just to give it to you so they could clear more blessings?
That's a good suggestion. My friend, you're not helping, Daniel. I just told you should give it to my master's temples. I can't handle the consequences. They can. No, you have to be careful. Here's what happens. You have to be careful, you have to be smart about this. Suppose that money is blood money that you gain, okay, that's given to you. Meaning with that, there are some strings attached. They'll come at you, okay? They know you. They know about you. So far, so good. And you said, okay, I have this already. I want to pass it on to the temple or the church or whatever, whoever, okay? Guess what happens? They go at the church, okay? Daniel churches. And then the churches can't pay up. They spend it on something else already. They can't pay up. So guess what happens next? They come back at you. You ever borrowed money from Brother Vito? They collect from you. If they can't collect from you, they collect from, they go up the ladder, okay? They backtrack and collect whoever that's associated with it. So because you have a label, you have a connection, they can't collect from the one source, they go back up to you and go back up to the person who gave it to you. Way Mountain question.
Master, with the mindset of donating so that the temple carry the consequences, would they plant the seed of becoming enlightened later?
Will they become enlightened? That's a tough question. I don't know. But if you give it to my temple, I guarantee you become enlightened. What is the basis of my assertion? Come on, let's be fair. You're laughing at me, but that's true. You become enlightened whether you give it to me or not. The chances are that you give it to me, you become enlightened a lot slower than... But you still become enlightened. All right. So yes, be careful in that you cannot be short-sighted when you make money and you make these gains. Should try to avoid blood money, blood gains. Okay, it's not good. For example, and there's a proof is that when I speak like this, of course, I have no practical experience, just using my discriminating mind to talk to you. But my teacher, Master YongHua, his disciple had, I heard many stories like this. They sold 2 restaurants. One of his disciples sold 2 restaurants in Vegas, non-vegetarian restaurant. So he said, Master, I sold my 2 restaurants like you told me to, and here's money for 1 restaurant. Master YongHua says, no thanks, don't give it to me. So it's blood money. He says, doesn't want it. Okay? Never happened to me. I just wonder it's going to happen if somebody gives it to me. It would be a very nice experiment, you ask me. Way Mountain question.
Master, I asked a question on behalf of Tung Teng Jing Jing. what happens when they use blood money to request 49 days service with Master YongHua? Can the disease still goes to the Pure Land?
Can what? What's the question?
What happened when they use blood money to request 49 days service with Master YongHua?
Yeah.
Can the disease still goes to the Pure Land?
Can you still go to the Pure Land?
The disease. I think
Can the
she's
disease
misspelled
go
it.
to the Pure Land? Oh, yeah. Next question. Why not? Eventually. It's two different things. To go to the Pure Land requires the blessing to go to the Pure Land. So far, so good. It's two different things. You need blessings. You need the proper requirements in order to go to the Pure Land. If those requirements are met, you go to the Pure Land. So far, so good. Has nothing to do with blood money. Because of the blood money, the generation of these requirements would be troublesome so that you will not be able to meet it, and you can't go to the Pure Land. That's simple as that. So there's no guarantee in life. You cannot say that I give blood money, a lot of blood money, a lot of blood money. Can you guarantee me? I said yes. Okay, time is up. Next time, are we done here? Are we done with all the questions? Oh, we're not done yet. We're still not done. Okay, we continue next time. Okay? Good. Next time, 126. Thank you, everyone.